Greetings everyone, Lippy Gaming here. New articles come out. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, maybe Red 13's time to shine. I've seen the moves in the trailer and he looks pretty good, and he seems to be a character that kind of circles around, and I can't help but think the deadly dodge materia might be really relevant to Red 13. But time will tell, but let's go into this article. The up-and-coming Final Fantasy Rebirth may focus on the animal party member Red 13, as his time to shine in the original game is fast approaching. Final Fantasy VII Remake Rebirth. Final Fantasy VII Remake sets up Rebirth with unanswered questions and teases, including the late game party member Red 13. Red 13's lack of playability in the remake was likely to avoid dragging the final act, but Rebirth all but guarantees he will be fully playable. Yeah, I think they did a good thing by not allowing him to be playable and save it for the next one, because he might have been still a work in progress at that time, and it gives more hype to the game. Thirdly, fans can expect a huge focus on his character, arc and birthplace, Cosmo Canyon. This will likely make Red 13 a show stealer in the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Yeah, they've already shown the grandparent is in Bungenhagen or something like that, and the planetary mechanism, so they clearly go to Cosmo Canyon, and that will be a good thing. That's a good point actually. We may dive deep into that story and that underground boss. I think that was actually in the trailer, the whole Cosmo Canyon underground, when they were going through that cave. I think that's what it was. Anyway, to carry on. The up-and-coming Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is aiming to fulfill quite a lot of promises. It seeks to dive deeper into the consequences Cloud and his party are facing after taking out the Arbiters of Fate in the previous entry to the remake project. Wants to deliver plenty of fun action-packed moments, and needs to make the world of Gaia more large and expansive than it ever has been previously. I don't know about expansive. I mean, I think it's still going to be a fairly linear game. It's like a hybrid open world and linear game, and for me that's the correct choice. The way they went about FF7 Remake for that sector was correct for me, but I think I would definitely like to see it a bit more wider. But I don't think it's going to be like Red Dead Redemption open world, and I don't think that would suit the game. So the way they're going about it now, in my opinion, seems to be the right way. It just has that basis of linearity, which for me suits the game, and I think it has to be that way in my opinion. But let's carry on. From the very beginning it was known that FF7 Remake and FF7 Rebirth will be two parts of a trilogy. No, that wasn't known from the beginning, it's known now. And nothing is more telling of this design mantra than the exact way the FF7 Remake ends its story to set up Rebirth. It provides fans with more questions and answers, heavily teasing what's yet to come. For example, the late game party member remake Red 13 is a walking teaser for Rebirth. Let's have a look. In Chapter 17, players get to meet the last member of the PS1's game Early Party's Late Game Edition. This character will be Red 13, a quadrupedal lion or wolf depending on the fan. Yeah, it's difficult to differentiate between whether he is a wolf or some kind of, not a cat beast, but a lion beast kind of thing. It's a difficult one to pick actually. I'm not going to say anything about that, I'll let you guys decide. Who was a fan favourite among the crew? Red 13's inclusion in the FF7 remake wasn't at all a surprise, as cutscenes featuring the animal party member were featured in trailers close to release. Oh yeah, I think there was something about that. However, while Square Enix made sure to use what little screen time Red 13 had to its advantage, players were surprised to find that the creature wasn't a proper party member, but a guest character that helped with specific quests and plot beats in the final act. Yeah. There are many reasons for this change, and Red 13 is guaranteed to be playable in FF7 Rebirth. Yeah, we've seen that. His guest character status remake was likely a careful decision to avoid causing the final act of the game to drag on too long. Yeah, I would say so. Don't forget they got to put all the tutorials in, and to put a tutorial for a new character right at the end of the game wouldn't really make sense. So for me it was a good call from Square Enix. When looking at what occurred in the original game, however, it's as easy to see that most of the spotlight will be on Red 13 in the second installment. I wouldn't say most of it, but I wouldn't be surprised if a big chunk of I would say about 2 or 3 chapters might be about Red 13, if maybe even 4 chapters, because when they go to the Cosmo Canyon first, oh no, that might be in the 3rd game actually, because they will do the whole planetary checkup thing with the Lexion, but then they have to go back for that huge materia like they did in the FF7 PS1 version. So it'd be interesting to see whether that actually happens in the 3rd game. I don't think they'll be going back to Cosmo Canyon after the first visit to Cosmo Canyon in this game. Time will tell. They're going to have to cover some serious tracks in this game though, in my opinion anyway. Let's carry on. As Final Fantasy VII Rebirth takes Cloud away from Midgard to the continents of Gaia, there are plenty of iconic locations that fans want to see. However, in the latest trailer, Hagen can be seen, who is a character. Cosmo Canyon, yeah. Cosmo Canyon is not only where the former research subject was born, but also the largest point in the game where his character arc is explored, going into who he is beyond. What tells Cloud and Barrett Tifa, Aerith joins the party. This part of the game goes into Red 13's character motivations and past, while solidifying him as a permanent member of the FF7 party, and everything else is said and done. Yeah, it was quite a sad thing for him, because I don't like to give spoilers and that, but for those who have played the original game, it's a deep story for that character and that, and I'm looking forward to going into it, because it was quite a profound moment for him. Let's carry on. It's an emotional part of the game within a beautiful location that has all been confirmed to be in Rebirth as the latest trailer. No matter which order FF7 Rebirth settings are discovered in, Red 13 fans have plenty of reason to be excited for Rebirth. Not only is Withal Creature likely to be a playable member of the party once again, but his home will be developed beyond the original game, and the spotlight will likely be on Red 13 for the entire duration. I am looking forward to seeing all the PS5 graphics and that. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, as soon as I got FF7 on PS5, the upgrade, I noticed quite a bit of a difference, to say the least. And the fact that this one is exclusive to PS5 means they're going to fully focus on all the textures and the environments and that. It'll be interesting to see how it is, because there's some games out there that really stand out, and like in recent times, and on the PS4, and like Ghost of Tsushima, it looks good when you go onto PS5. So for me, this will be the actual first PS5 game, exclusive game, that I will probably be buying. I don't think I'll be buying anything else up until then, but we'll see what comes out. But the game I'm looking forward to most personally, just briefly, is FF7 Rebirth, and yeah, let's hope for a new release. Good article, made a good point. This is Lippy Gaming here. I hope you enjoyed the overview of the article from Game Rant. A good article, and let me know what your comments and opinions are. Thank you for listening and watching. Take care.